South Carolina Senator, presidential candidate Tim Scott joins me now. And Senator, good morning to you. It has been a week. Good morning. Thank you for your time. What would you do about Iran?
Well, number one, let's go back a couple of months when we had the president of Iran on our soil calling for the death of members of President Trump's administration. Number one. Number two, we now have the foreign minister threatening America. Now, they would not be allowed back on our soil. They did it while being guarded by our Secret Service. They should have a swift reaction from this administration. If I were president, the one thing I would say, you threaten my country, there will be consequences in your country. We know that 90% of the money Hamas has used to butcher Israelis and Americans came from Iran. We should make sure that while we can see their fingerprints, Iran's fingerprints on this war, the blood from Americans and Israelis are on their hands. The consequences must be steep, and they should be met swiftly. We should never say when we're going to do it, but without any question, there should be targets in Iran that we have already chosen to tell Iran a clear message. You threaten our lives, it will cost you yours as well.
So maybe that's happening behind the scenes, but publicly anyway, it seems like this administration is embracing Tehran to a degree. But why has this relation persisted this way, do you think?
Well, Bill, that's a great question. No good answer that comes to mind. I can tell you, though, that this relationship predates October 7th. You think about the fact that in this administration, Biden's administration wanted the Russians to negotiate with the Iranians on our behalf for a new nuclear deal. We saw the release of sanctions that allowed more than $80 billion of energy resources to flow into Iran. And then, of course, the hostage negotiation that brought another $6 billion to Iran. I don't know what this administration does not understand, that you cannot make a good deal with a bad actor, and you certainly cannot make it with the world's greatest sponsor of terrorism by state. I don't understand Joe Biden. We need to fire Joe Biden and hire me. That's how we make the change that was necessary.
Yeah, I know you're pushing for that. Let's get to that in a moment here. But Russia yesterday just hosted leaders from Iran and Hamas. I mean, extraordinary. You can see it in plain sight. Nobody's hiding their feelings, and nobody's hiding their relationship on this.
Not at all. That's why we should take people at face value in this situation. We know that Hezbollah and Hamas train with Iran. We know back in April of this year, we saw in Wall Street Journal's article that they were already planning some kind of attack. All the information and the evidence is clear. Reacting to it is necessary. Having 10 plus attacks on our military personnel since October the 7th, before this administration responded with precise attacks in Syria, it just took too long. If you want to stop bad behavior, hit it immediately. That doesn't just slow it down. If you hit them hard enough, it will stop.
Well, you know, the rise in anti-Semitism is prevalent.
Yes.
And we've seen it all over America. We see it all over New York City every day. There were rallies again last night in Lower Manhattan. On college campuses, it seems to be perhaps maybe the impetus for a lot of this. Listen to a student at Columbia University, Upper West Side of Manhattan, said this on Fox Business.
Tone has been extremely unpleasant, to put it mildly. It's full of discord. It has not gotten better. Every day I attempt to, start new, to move forward, to look for some source of positivity. And each day I see a new form of demonstration, a new form of hate, a new form of anti-Semitism. And it's just absolutely disheartening.
Senator, you're going to be on a college campus later today. You're going to Oxford, Mississippi. I mean, will you address this today there?
Absolutely. One of the things I've been saying since 2016 is we needed to codify a definition of anti-Semitism for our college campuses. The eruption of anti-Semitism started several years ago, but it continued to go unchecked. We cannot be surprised when we allow for this behavior to continue to spread like a cancer. Now we see ourselves with foreign students on college campuses and our own students joining together, calling for Jewish genocide. They're actually advocating for mass murder, and they're encouraging terrorism. Those universities and colleges that will not bring them to hold them accountable should lose their Pell Grant funding.
Well, we'll see whether or not it gets to that point. Senator, we'll follow your speech later today, and thank you for your time this morning.
God bless.
Okay. Tim Scott, thank you.